How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin. Today's topic of discussion is going to be, what is quality? What is quality? Now, when I think about this topic, I'm thinking about my own personal definition of what quality means to me. And it's relatively simple. It's basically the integrity behind what I do. The integrity behind what I do. Let's think about this for a moment. Man, that's a broad definition, Ayin. The dictionary may define it differently. It may. Quite sure it probably does, because I didn't look it up. This is just what I thought of what quality means to me. And the reason why I'm posing this question to you is because when you can ask yourself, what does quality mean to you? And you put your own definition behind it, you're able to own it. You're able to own it when you're putting it out there, whether it's in relationships, the things that you're trying to do. You get to establish a baseline behind what it means to have a quality job done. Whether that's putting the amount of time or energy that it needs up off in a relationship like what you would expect. Let's look at the flip side of this for a moment. I know people where it's actually pretty funny. I know people where I can't really define their quality for them, but observing it as a bystander, you would look at it and be like, man, I would say that your quality of whatever you're doing stinks, but honestly, you're honest with it. And what I mean by that is yeah, you may put out some work or do something, and it's just half done. Really don't care. It's just some ho-hum work. It's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Person calls you out, to the errors or mistakes or whatever is done. And whatever you're doing, whether you're building a house, a car, whatever you're doing, building models, whatever you're doing, model cars, whatever. And he called out, man, this is just like really half done. You're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But that same person, they're kind of, like I said, this is the flip side to what I'm talking about here. When you give them something, they're just so laid back and they're just, oh, okay, well, thank you. You can give them something the same way, okay. Now, as a bystander, it may look like, man, that quality is subpar. But we all have different views on what it is to have something that's quality. So with that being said, like using that example, like I said, of this individual that's just laid back and it's just like, well, man, what they put out, you would think, man, this just really stinks. But it's just like, they'll receive it back and it's nothing. Does this go a little deeper than what I'm saying, what I'm seeing? And it's for that person to answer. But when I'm thinking about myself and quality and my personal definition behind it being really based around integrity, like I said earlier, it allows a baseline for me to operate in things that I do, whether it's my own personal relationship or relationships, dealing with other people on the outside of the circle, family, friends, co-workers, or just the type of work that I put into something. I know it's a baseline where I will not accept any less. I can't really say that I gave it my all until I done whatever it is on my list that, lets me sleep at night. So that's how I define quality. What is your base of quality? What is your baseline of quality? Think about it. The reason why, like I said, I'm talking about baselines for whatever it is that you're trying to do. This helps you to be more realistic with yourself, realistic with your goals, what you expect to get up out of things. See, you have some people where when they're putting out, anything is fine. Long as I got it out and said it, had done it. It doesn't matter if I only put 50% into it or, just really didn't even care about, how it was done. Hey, it's done. What can you complain about? But then when they receive certain things, it's just like, no, it's got to be perfection. They're just like a real stickler on whatever it is that they're looking for. So it's just like, well, you don't operate like that. How could you expect that? What is the quality behind the things that you do? Now, like I said, getting back to the individual I was talking about earlier, The one that's just lapsadaisical in the things that they do, I'm not in their head. You're not in their head. We're not in their head. We don't know what it actually takes for them to be, happy with. With them, it may be just, hey, you thought about me. I don't care if you gave me 2 popsicle sticks and this was supposed to be a doll. Hey, you thought about me, or it was supposed to be an action figure, whatever the case may be. You thought about me. I like it. I'm gonna do it the same as if, I had a name brand action figure or a doll or whatever it was that, gotten from the store. I love it. When they put those same things out, they expect those same things. But those people, the way that they do their goals and they set up their goals and expectations, they align differently. They have a different level of satisfaction. So it's different to all of us. So it's not for me to say, well, man, because, you operate like that, it stinks. But what you can do is, when you're interacting with others, this is the reason why I talk about in previous videos and also refer to it in my book, it's a 50-50 when you interact with other individuals. When you're interacting with others, whether it's spoken or not, it's a common agreement that you come about when you're interacting. That, hey, I'm interacting with you. This is not all about Ayin. So there are some considerations there. You have to open your eyes a little bit. See on what you're dealing with. That's the reason why when I'm talking about unhealthy and healthy relationships on this channel and having, certain things in or on the outside of your circle and you're dealing with them, the unhealthy things, it's only normal for a person to expect something back. That's the reason why when I'm questioning these relationships that are unhealthy, things where you're just like, man, they're doing things that I would never do. These are dangerous, and really me being around it too much could put my own life or people that I love in jeopardy, being around these certain situations. Well, how are you going to effectively deal with that person? Because if you're calling yourself a friend or you're in their circle, they're going to expect, some give, just like how you're taking. Whatever it is that you're taking and you're doing in that relationship. That's the reason why I said that you have to redefine and reevaluate these relationships, these things around you. What is your level of quality? And that's the reason why I chose this topic for today's video, because when you're able to ask yourself these questions and set these baseline measurements for how you do and the things that you expect, you should see that things start to even out up around you. You should have things that are, I don't really want to say like-minded, because we all got our thoughts and opinions, and I talked about this in the previous video, when I'm just like, I don't want somebody who agrees with everything that I say. I don't even agree with everything that I say. I might wake up and say this today, maybe a week, tomorrow, a month later, I'm just like, man, I feel completely different up on this. So I don't want anybody with everything that I have to say. So that's the reason why I'm wanting to really avoid saying like-minded. But you do at least want to be heading in the same direction. I don't want to be trying to go north and this person is going south. Because if I'm going north and this person is going south, how am I going to get north if I'm consistently looking over my shoulder and you going south? Either I'm slowing up my trek to go north, dragging one leg, or either I'm just flat out stopping pursuing what I'm doing. So I at least want people going in the same direction. Maybe you're going northwest. Maybe you're even going west or east. Maybe we just met up at that common point and it was just like, hey, all right, well, this was a common, awesome interaction. I'll see you. It was healthy, but I got a path to carve here. What is the baseline for how you want to operate with people, things, just everything that you're doing? Quality is just one of the questions that you can ask yourself. You can ask yourself a lot of the questions. That's a lot of questions. That's the reason why I always talk about taking things back to yourself. A lot of times you have people, they ask the questions to other people, and in some cases, you may be justified in doing that. Just like the video I just made when I was talking about, we don't agree, now what? Okay, I asked myself, what am I in this relationship for? Am I in this relationship to have my ego stroked, or am I in this relationship for the long haul? So I'm fine with us disagreeing. We're here to grow together and, keep evolving this relationship. So this is the way that it is. That was one of the things that I talked about in that video. But that gets back to what I'm talking about in this video. It's still operating from a baseline, from what you're trying to do. Then you can see how other people fit into the puzzle of life that you have, that we all have. Just want to take time out to discuss that with you. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. This is where I'm doing the videos at. If you have a question, I'll do my best to answer your question in a video. Send it to aim.kilimanjaro@gmail.com. In the meantime, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I'm Aim. You have a good one.